Well, let's not worry about it.
It is the Lawfu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing.
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. However, I have no clue what the Yao Qing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of our... So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too... The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Lawfu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yao Qing, she has come specifically. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like...
That's not true, General Huaiyan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yao Qing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead.
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huaiyan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be... Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat, I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword. No need to bother. The Juming envoys won't be leaving the Lawfu anytime soon. I'll ask for... by the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general...
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger...
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jingyuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Lawfu fall victim to the disciples?
Dan Shu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Lawfu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled...
What was I thinking? Seriously, Here I was looking for.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived, and rumors say that she's to be the—
An alchemist from the Juming serving as the cauldron master on the Luofu? Well, it's not.
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Hung. Now I finally see the General is under tremendous pressure right now. But I was completely oblivious to his trouble.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for. Did I say something wrong?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the—
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we—
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We... Yeah, exactly. Wait, are you being
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the art—
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
Ugh, that toxic voice sounds familiar.
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. But straight up snatching IPC cargo? Isn't that going a bit—
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo and completed the security check, you can be on your way.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my aunts keep detaining my cargo, and I'll file a complaint directly with your general. You jerk! Who are you calling a dog? Wait, why are you here? Staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck! Wherever you go, disaster—
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the artisanship?
Trouble caused by the IPC? I'd say it's caused by the Skyfaring Commission!
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if— I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest, Miss Shikui.
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were— And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard him mention you. Weren't you kicked off—
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered—
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you 1,000,000 times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal—
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold.
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Luofu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We won't unload our cargo here.
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again.
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the car—
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some—
biological tissue?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. but this IPC specialist has been hindering us on—
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there—
Oh, really? Fine! If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against—
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly. I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right?
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against—
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Cienjo Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual—
Huh? Your logic is too confusing for anyone to follow. Maybe you should learn the art of communication from a monkey before you continue spouting nonsense. Hey everyone! Meet my old friend Scott. He's very talented, especially at imitating animals.
Stop it! Let's focus on the business at hand!
Oh, you're amazing! Can you teach me?
Just forget it! Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable. Beyond—
Don't underestimate Cienjo technology. Even if they need to dismantle your cargo, the Artisanship Commission can easily—
Yeah, go ahead and brag about their skills. After all, you're— But I'm different. I'm an IPC member. And— All right, that's enough. I'm not going to I thought you were reasonable and civilized, but now, it seems, we've signed a confidentiality and security agreement with the Intelligentsia Guild. And if we— Listen up, kid. I don't mind delaying this transport for a few more days. Once the engines are repaired, our ship will leave immediately, and you won't have any—
If that's the case, I can assure you the Cloud Knights won't let your ship leave.
Oh, really? Then you'll receive a ton of complaints from the Intelligentsia Guild and the IPC's marketing development.
Since you put it that way, Mr. Scott, I'll take it as your agreement to the inspection
Not so fast, you little brat. According to the IPC regulations, I have the right to arm myself and—
I thought you were reasonable and civilized, but now it seems the IPC just—
Stop him, guys! For the Amber Lord!
Eternal. All will be swept away by the wind.
Until everything burns to ashes!
Get up, all of you! Why is the IPC even paid?
Just be grateful that that little brat showed you mercy. At least your staff aren't seriously injured. How do you IPC cronies have the audacity to fight Cloud Knights? You practically assaulted law enforcement officers.
Another one? Who the heck are you?
I may be a bit late, but the good news is I'm here now. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lingsha, Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Lawfu.
Could she be?
Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Zhuming.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way.
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo. According to the import and export regulation signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47 years?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades.
Ha! Typical of a long-life species. Your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection. Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right? Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman. Just get on with the inspection. Don't act all chummy with me now that you've got your way.
This lady is really...
Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
Turn it off! How unexpected. That was a surprise.
Until everything burns to ashes!
My friends? Indulge yourselves!
Fight to live!
Eternal.
Let's improvise. Let the show begin!
Set the seas aflame! Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's
I had no idea about it! You must have accidentally triggered the cargo
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving!
Enough. Miss Shikue, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission?
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of...
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yenji. Yeah, exactly. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Luofu from that...
It wasn't a big deal.
It's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
I'd be happy to accept your invitation.
And you three are coming too, right?
News is spreading pretty fast.
All these years, and the view of the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us, Vidyadhara...
You're a Luofu native, Miss Lingsha?
Yes, I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching prescriptions with my mentors and peers at the Alchemy Commission. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Everything changes, but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Don Hung, I traveled far from home, and now...
The view here would be even better without the ambrosial arbor.
Oh, really? I think that towering tree looks pretty impressive.
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years. And now that the ambrosial arbor has been reborn...
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, it'll eventually sprout, in my humble opinion. The rebirth of the ambrosial arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. My bad. Well, since you went through the entire ambrosial arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Hung and Lieutenant Yen...
What would you like to discuss, Miss Lingsha?
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime. Honestly, the Alchemy Commission is riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem, but was wondering if you could provide.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't really say much about a remedy, but the Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself...
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission for years. If you're...
I see. Thank you for your valuable insight. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the ambrosial arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to prolong their existence. Just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people within the alchemy. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the arbor to the Vidyadhara. 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse the source of the... Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None...
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus. Alas, why is your face turning pale, Yanqing? Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is...
Lingsha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you.
Yunli! Why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission? Well, let me take this opportunity to introduce you to Yanqing.
What a small world. You stole my sword! Give it back!
I see. Let's skip the introduction part.
Why do I keep bumping into you? Are you stalking me or something?
Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to wander around without...
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. You hesitate when you should strike, and you struggle to stay calm when your sword is unsheathed. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword. It was you who lost focus.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming, but you're not taking the hint. Don't...
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knight saying, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon. Yes? Well, sure, I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story.
Fine! You don't have to give it back, because I'll take it back my...
Between these two, who do you think is tougher, Dan Heng? Don't get me wrong.
Get ready to separate.
It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagined.
Well, since you don't approve, I won't draw my sword here.
I didn't mean it in that way. Since you've already drawn your swords, you'd be disappointed if you didn't get to tech. I've received reports that the delves near the Alchemy Commission are still infested with abominations. Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. So, if you...
Clearing out some abominations? Sounds boring.
It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me twice, Miss Lingsha.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha needs anything, I'll gladly draw my sword and help her out.
It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, if you want a contest, I'll be the referee.
Lingsha, as always.
It's for your own good, little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other,
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both